Hey guys, Krista Jones here from Davey and Krista, and in this video, I'm going to teach you how to use a few AI tools to streamline your website design process. So whether you're doing this for your own website or whether you're doing this for a client website, these are a few truly helpful tools that I think that you can use to make the process go a little bit faster and help you avoid getting stuck in some of the common sticky places in the website design process. I think that just about every day we see new ways to use AI coming on the market. And I think it's kind of an uncertain time in the design industry because we're not really sure how fast this technology is going to evolve and what it's really going to be able to do to create websites. And while all of this technology is getting more and more powerful every day, I do still think that this world is going to need designers, especially website designers, because while it can get you some of the way there, I don't think it has the same finesse and polish and ability to connect different systems the way that you as a designer can. So rest assured that you are still needed and still relevant in this AI robot powered world. The first tool that I want to talk about is Visily. I think that's how you say it. If I'm saying it wrong, please let me know in the comments. Nicely though. And I think that this is going to be best used as an alternate to other more advanced design platforms out there like Figma or Sketch, which is my go-to design tool, or even the Adobe Illustrator suite. So one thing that is really cool about it is that you could draw out your design and then pull the image in, and in theory, it converts it to a UI base. So if you're the kind of designer who likes to think best on paper and plan out your designs on paper, I think that this is going to be a really cool tool. Another thing that I've noticed that you can do with it, and I'm actually going to open up the program now, is that you can take a screenshot of something and pull it in, and it doesn't get it perfect. So let's show you my real website as a starting point. I took a screenshot of my website and I pulled it in, and this is the mockup that it made for me. It doesn't get everything. It didn't get my custom fonts right. But I do think it could be a cool way to help mock things up if you don't want to use those other design platforms. I also think it could be nice if a client sends you a sketch, or if a client tells you they really like a certain part of their existing website and you don't want to go through the process of recreating it yourself and you're already using this tool for your designs and your mockups. That could be a cool thing to do. So let's see what it does with a screenshot of an image like this. So I'll pull this in, and then within the project itself, there are a few different things that we can do. So I'm going to start with AI, and I'm going to do a screenshot to design. So I'm going to pull in my image, and it says something good is happening. So we'll see what it gives me in a second. Okay, so it did a pretty good job about pulling all of my images and the text itself, so I didn't have to copy and paste that all in. So this could be a really great time-saving tool for you if you are going to pull in different screenshots of different client projects. I don't know how big these images are. My thought is they're probably the same resolution as the image in the screenshot itself. So if I was actually going to build this out in a program like Showit, I'd probably want to start with the original ones just to make sure that they're higher resolution. But I think it's a fun way to get that text easily. And then my guess is that you could probably pull in some of your own fonts to make this feel more custom, especially if you are using this as a design software tool. I haven't explored this thoroughly, but it looks like there are a lot of different elements that you can add in here. And they also have quite a few pre-existing templates that you could use to maybe save yourself time if you're starting a design from scratch, or you're just not really sure where to go with a design. So this is a tool that you could use. The next tool that I want to talk to you about is Coolors, which I've shared about before. I've used this quite a bit in my own website design journey, but I found some cool new features of it and I want to talk you through them. I'm not exactly sure if they're AI, they might be, but if they're not, they're pretty close. So let's go with start the generator. And it could just generate a random color for me. I could then keep generating things. I could lock a design. I could lock a palette if I like the basics of this, but I don't like all of the colors. And I'm like, no, I like these first three. I don't like all the others. So let's keep generating. And I could hit the spacebar to keep generating things. I could lock the ones that I like, and those will stay. And I could keep going until I get a combination that I like. You could also adjust the intensity of these colors. So if I know that I want that one to be lighter, let's say that I definitely don't like that green, but I'm liking some of these. There's a lot that you could do here to really explore colors. And so that's a fun tool. There's a lot that you could do here to really explore colors. What I want to show you is this image tool. So I am going to pull in an image that I actually created with MidJourney, and it does a really good job of pulling together the basic colors in this image. So if you're working on a client project or even a project for yourself and you have an image that has a lot of the same colors that you like, but you don't want to have to eye drop each individual color to figure out what the general colors are, this is a fun tool that you could use. We could add more colors if we want. We could reduce the colors. So this will shift where we're actually sampling from. So let's say that I like this one and I want to start with this one. I can click on next and we could open it in the generator to get the different hex codes and adjust it more there. So the generator is going to be this big area. I've also found it's kind of fun to create a collage with these, and we can change the aspect ratio to be Instagram size, to be Pinterest size. So if I wanted to create a bunch of these and add them to Pinterest, which is that 2:3 layout, I could select 2:3, click on layout, and then I think this is kind of a fun one. I see images like this on Pinterest all the time. And so it took those images, it took those colors that it just generated, it popped them on the image, and it did a pretty layout. From there, I can export it. And then if I was going to use this on Pinterest, I'd probably add in my logo, or at least like my website credit somewhere on here. And then I'd add it to Pinterest, and then I'd use it to take it to some of the different blog posts or some of the different free resources that we have about colors. And hopefully that would be a way to build my mailing list. If you're doing this for clients, this could also just be a fun way to show them different color palettes. And especially if you're using their images, and say like, you generated these different colors from this particular image. So it helps them visualize where the colors that you're giving them came from, and they might feel a little bit less random. So that's one thing that we could do with that. Okay, this next one is called Promptomania, and it is a great way to generate better prompts that you could then take to other image generation tools such as MidJourney. Because I found, especially with MidJourney, if you don't give it good prompts and you haven't trained it well, you're probably going to get some weird, not usable results. So I'm going to select a MidJourney. And then from here, we can actually pick an actual image and add the link to it. So if I go to my Davy and Krista website, I can right click, let's go with this guy, and I'm going to click on inspect. And then where we see this blue link down here in the code, that's the link to the actual image file. So if I click on it, I can copy the link over here. So once I've selected my MidJourney, I need to give it an image URL. So I'm going to go to my website and I'm going to right click on an image, and you can do this with any image. Probably want to do them with images that you actually have the rights to use. So I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to click on this blue link down here, and I'm going to click on the source. And this will take me to the actual URL of the image so that I can use it in the prompt. So I'm going to come back here and I'm going to paste in the URL. And then I could select which image style I want to start with. I'm going to go with this one. I know it's weird. It's going to get better. I could add some style details. So if I wanted to say, let's use a camera, film type. Some of these are locked. Let's go with Kodak Portrait. And I could select to mimic the style of an artist. So if I wanted to render myself in Kodak Portrait as Andy Warhol, we could do that. There's a ton of different options in here. We can add in some image parameters. So if we wanted it to be a certain quality or stylized, I'll probably turn the stylize way down so it's not so weird. If we wanted to scale, whether it's like more detailed or less detailed, there are a lot of different things that we could do to create a better prompt. I'm going to keep mine simple for now. So let's copy it, and then let's go back to MidJourney. This was a different test that I did that rendered it in a specific artist style, but in pencil. So interesting. So I'm going to hit enter on here. And I'm also, if you want to learn more about MidJourney, I have a different tutorial that you should watch. That'll kind of get you a starting point. When I ran this, I ran it with some different personalizations selected that I have trained it on. Okay, so here are my results. Honestly, I probably should have described it better to get better results. It obviously did not use me as the subject, but if you do have an image that you want to create something similar of, or if like you have a client's image and you need to create other variations of it, or you wanted to add or subtract things or render in a different style, this could be something that you use. I think it's probably going to take some playing to really get it right. This one, she has my outfit right. She has my color right. She has the hairstyle right. I don't think the scene makes a lot of sense. I don't know how many people are working in a laptop surrounded by ivy, but you hopefully get the point about different things that you could try in order to get other results, especially if you're working with a client who doesn't have a lot of images and you need to generate better images. Okay, the last tool I'm going to show you is this Imagine.art tool. I've only done the free version. I think if you did the premium version, you could get a lot better of models, but we're just going to try it. So let's write a prompt. So create an image of a woman working in a clean, modern workspace. She should have dark hair and wear glasses. And if you really wanted a better prompt, there's a tool called ProperPrompts.ai that can give you some other better prompts. I often take those over to MidJourney, but we're just playing here just to see what we can create. I like that this tool can do videos, and you can even, if you pay for the premium version, you can drop in an image and turn it into a video. I have not paid for that yet, so I don't actually know the accuracy of what it does, but we could also click on any of these images and then use the prompt there to create something similar. So let's just try generating it and see what it gives me. For this example, I clicked on an image that they had in their library, and I asked it to turn into a video. And the way that you switch between the different models and the different sizes, you can even add different effects down here. So most of these are pro versions, so I'm sure that they are a lot more powerful than this basic one that I'm using down here. But again, I just wanted to play. And so looks like we could also change the style of sketch, cinematic. We could change the lighting to be studio lighting or dramatic lighting. We can change how the camera angle does. And so I imagine this is going to be really powerful, especially if you're for clients who don't have a lot of their own media, but they need other images in order to fill up a website. Okay, so here are my results for this video that I was created. It feels a little AI to me. It doesn't feel hyper realistic, and her hands don't work great here. You can see they're blurry. Yeah, I don't know how many fingers she has, like the typical AI flaw. But I would think if you put in better prompts, maybe you're rerunning it again where they don't show any hands, or you're using one of these higher tools, you can probably get better results. And I think that within a few months, these tools are even going to be more powerful at generating a video. I know that MidJourney is rolling out with video generation soon, and I'm excited to see and test that. Okay, the last tool I want to take you into is good old ChatGPT, because if you pay for the premium version, you can build your own GPTs, and you can also access other people's GPTs that they've already built. So I found this one that is SeanGPT. I don't know who Sean Vossler is, but I found that this is a pretty good tool that I need other elements for a website. Like maybe a client didn't give me enough headlines, but I found that this is a really good way to round out website copy and create extra elements. So there are a few different ways that we can do it. We can select one of these prompts that are already in here. So I'm going to give you some website copy I just wrote. Can you critique it? Let's go back to daveandkrista.com. Let's select this text right here, which is promoting one of our lead magnets. We'll come here and we'll paste it in and hit enter. And now it's going to take a second, but it's going to critique it. Okay, I'm going to try not to be offended with the way that it critiques my copy. My draft is super close, clear, cheeky, and has promise baked in. So funny. So it rewrote my copy with other elements of conversion copywriting in here. So let's say a client comes to you, they give you your copy, it needs some help. This could be a great tool to help them fix the copy that they already have without turning to a copywriter or without making them redo their copy. They're going to need to go through it and check it for accuracy and probably brand voice, because this GPT is not trained on this client's avatar of brand voice. You can easily do that too with your own custom GPTs, or they could do that. But I think it's a good starting point. I also used it to revise some copy that Davey wrote. We're working on a lacrosse website, and I felt like his tone was a little bit more formal. You can tell that he has multiple master's degrees. And so I took it and I asked it to appeal to parents and just lower the tone a little bit to warm it up. I also asked me to add headlines. I also described sections that I was creating and what was included in those sections, and I asked it to come up with different headlines for me, to give me different options for secondary headlines to really fill out the space. So I think that this is a great tool, whether you're using this SeanGPT or just other copywriting tools in ChatGPT, to help you polish up a website and maybe elevate the copy a little bit more. I also found this website analyzer GPT. I'll include it below. It doesn't go into your site and analyze it. You'll need to run an audit with at least one of these tools. I like Neil Patel's one, and I've also used SEMrush quite a bit. We use Rank Math on our site. So what you would do is you would run your site through one of those audit analyzers, and then it's going to tell you how to add your results here, and it's going to help you figure out what they mean. So if you run an audit on your site or somebody else has, and you're not exactly sure what to do to improve it or how to interpret those results, this could be a fun tool to use to help with that. All right, so I hope this video was helpful. I hope maybe you discovered a new tool or two that you can use to aid in your website design. Again, whether that's for yourself or for a client. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below and I will do my best to answer. Thanks, guys.